Hey everybody, Kimberly here, and I'm excited to share with you part 1 of a Pandasaurus double header. Now for this video, I have Castle Combo, and both are 25 minutes long, and they come in very similar box sizes. So with this one, you play 2 to 5 players in Castle Combo, and you are building a 3x3 grid by recruiting cards from either the castle row or from the village row. And you'll see that there are these cards here. The brown-backed cards are the villagers. And you'll see their town is just, little guy. Little bitty houses, cuties. Look at those little cutie houses. This is going to be the back of that card. And then on the other side up top, you have the castle cards. And this is going to be, again, those kind of royalty cards and a little bit more expensive cards that you're going to see in the game. So really nice castle design there. So you're just going to get your supply of coins and keys, which are unlimited. You're going to shuffle up the cards and deal 3 out to the top, 3 out to the bottom. Put the messenger at the bottom. Give each player $15 and 2 keys. And then you're going to essentially take turns drafting one of these cards that are out here in display and adding it to your 3x3 grid. Once you place a card down into your space, you then have to play adjacent to that space, orthogonally speaking, slowly building out your 3x3 grid in whichever direction that you want. But once you've got 3 across or 3 tall, you can't go any further in that direction. And cards are going to give you immediate bonuses, and they also will give you end of game scoring potential. So when you're looking at cards, you're going to take a look at how much cost it is. So for instance, this card right here is a sculptor and it costs $3. It has these particular symbols or shields that are available for scoring. And down here is where it's going to score at the end of the game. But this is an in-game. It's going to give you a key per that symbol that you see. Now, not necessarily the best card to take it first, but that's essentially how you're reading these cards. Here you've got this militia man. He's only $2, and it says $1 per yellow grain symbol shield of one neighbor, or you just get 2 keys for playing him out. And at the end of the game, you're going to get 3 points per card that has this symbol on it, like this up here, but it's going to be going across. And so you're going to want that in a particular row, which is here, which is in this row. And then lastly, here is one of those farmers. This has a lot of those yellow symbols on it. He costs $5, has 2 of those symbols, and it says 1 key per yellow symbol. Well, already it's worth 2 just by putting down. If you've got previous, symbols out there, you can gain even more. And then it's worth 7 if this card is on the very bottom of your 3x3 grid. That's pretty cool. Maybe I want to buy this one. So let's say I want to buy this one. Now the reason I only stayed on the bottom row is because the messenger's down on the bottom row. If I want to send the messenger up to the top row, I have to pay a key back to the supply. I could also spend a key to essentially flush one of the rows of cards to replenish, but that is pretty expensive. And when you don't have any keys, then you don't have any flexibility of moving the messenger or by flushing a row. And so I want to keep my keys as long as possible. And I play this card out into my display. It's my first card, but I know I want it to be the bottom row. So I'm going to pay my $5 and I get a key back per symbol. So I'm going to take 2. And then I look on my card and there was a little gray up arrow. Do you see it here and here? That means the messenger moves up. Then I replace my card like this. We see a stable boy. And you'll see that the brown symbol arrow down shows up on some of these cards. If this card is purchased, then the messenger goes back down. But if one of these cards is purchased, it stays on the top row. So that's how the messenger is going to move, and your keys are how you mobilize them. So that's 1. It's my first turn. I only get 9 turns, and I will again slowly build my 3x3 grid, buying these particular cards and gaining the immediate bonus, and then taking advantage of and planning for the end game flag bonus that you're going to see at the very bottom. this is pretty much the game. There are a lot of different symbols. There are a lot of different cards that activate certain things. And again, you're wanting to strategize to create the best 9 card 3x3 grid, because you will be scoring everything. Everyone will have their name up here and you'll score. Okay, everyone, look in the top left corner, then go across, then here. Now you're going to go to the next card, the 5th card, the 6th card, 7th, 8th, and 9th, and then you total everything up. If you have any remaining keys, it's worth victory points. And then there's your sum. So every single card is going to be scored. And this reminds me a lot of a recent video I just made with Misfit Heroes, where you are essentially designing your own grid there. It's a 4x4, which is 16 cards, and it may or may not take 16 turns to get to. This one, you draft a card. That's a force. You have to do it. And if you can't pay for one, you take a card and you will flip it over and you get $6 and 2 keys by placing it face down. And so there is a way to get out of a pickle, which I do appreciate. And the combinations here are kind of endless. You've got quite a bit of cards. You have 39 each of cards here in the village and in the castle. There's this wonderful game aid. I will say that I wish there were more, because when I was playing, I was the only one that didn't have access to the game aid card. This is for all the different symbols and for even more symbols. There's so many symbols in this that you have to understand. And so when you're playing, there's just a lot to go over. And I wish that they had included 2 or 3 of these, or maybe 1 for every player, which is 5, because this is incredibly helpful to know what you're going for and how to pick your cards and how to make the best of your turn. And so there's only 1 game aid icon in the game. This messenger is massive. He's so chonky and huge. Didn't necessarily need to be so. Could have easily have just been a cardboard cutout, in my opinion. But he's this massive block. Okay, it's fine. It's not the worst. The iconography, though, is quite clear, and I do love the cartoonish artwork. I think it's really charming and adorable. And I do love the idea of competing for collective cards that everyone has access to bring into my personal space. Now, there are some cards that say you might get something, like this one says, you get 3 keys, your opponents gain a key. So that's pretty cool. When someone gets this card, it's so good that other players are going to get it. And it has a really dynamite end game victory points for missing not the same kind of symbols that you have up in the corner. So if you have any that are missing, fantastic. And we already see so many here. The red swords, the grain, the yellow grain, the blue crown, the orange hammer, and that purple symbol, the royalty symbol. So cool. So a lot to like here. A couple moving parts, but pretty straightforward, super replayable because there are so many cards and so many different castle combos, which I really like the title. I think it works great. So a lovely small box Pandasaurus game, again 2 to 5 players, takes about 25 minutes to play. And again, is part 1 of my Pandasaurus doubleheader, so be on the lookout for my follow-up video where I do another Pandasaurus small box game that takes 25 minutes to play. You will not be disappointed with that one. All right, everybody, I will see you later. Bye.